Good morning, friends. It has been ages since I have done one of these sort of walk around plant updates videos, and I feel like I've got a whole heck of a lot of new growth coming in my collection at the minute. Spring is springing. I know it's already sprung, but like spring is springing and lots of plants are really kicking it into high gear at the minute, and I'm really excited about it, and I want to show you all the crazy fun things that are happening in my collection. For the most part, I think they are good. There might be a thing here or there that's like less ideal, but overall, I feel like I'm in a very good place with things. Knock on wood. I don't want to get out of a good place with things because I'm very happy with my collection right now and things are doing well. So in a bit I will turn the camera around and we can walk through my collection and have a little bit of an update time. Before I get into it though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Let us get into these updates. They're good, y'all. Things are doing so well. I'm gonna start in the bedroom because things are popping off, and one thing that I'm super duper excited about is my Hoya Polyneura is really blasting off with new growth everywhere. Basically everywhere you see the more lighter green leaves, that's new growth coming in all up and around. Even at the top, I've got some new bits of new growth coming in, which is super exciting. And they are just like, they're just doing so well. Look at the little baby little leaves. It just makes me so happy. This one has been through an absolute journey in my collection. It has not been the best Hoya I've had. It's one of my favorites for sure, but it has been on an absolute journey, and I'm glad we're finally getting to the place where we're starting to grow again. Hopefully I can kind of get it to grow like heavier, and so it can grow a little bit more downwards. Right now it's very like out, which is fine. I mean, I don't really mind that it's like that, but it would be nice to get it a little bit more weighed down, I think. But I mean, until then, I love it. It's so pretty here. I think this is just the right amount of light. Getting some light from the grow light that's shining on my dubia, just kind of through there, as well as sort of ambient light from the window just here. But you know what's also benefiting from the grow light? And I'm actually gonna surprisingly turn it off just so we can better get a look at these. But my marble queen pothos is in the like beam area of the grow light, and it started to grow towards it, and the growth it's got, this is like a really cool half moon leaf, but also it's getting lighter and whiter. You can see it here compared to kind of down this way where it's still like variegated, but not nearly as much as up top here, which is super exciting. And this one's just growing really, really well along the beam. Nothing's really changed with it otherwise. It's still perfectly fine in this corner, but I'm just really glad that, yeah, that's actually a good example. Like, this is what the Marble Queen variegation used to be, basically because it wasn't getting any grow light, it's just getting ambient light from the room. And so the growth on it was very sort of green on green dapplediness compared to this super white on green, which we have up here now, which is super exciting. This area is feeling ever so slightly less chaotic now that I got rid of my mistletoe cactus. I was able to put my fern leaf into the corner here, which, I mean, look at her, she's just going crazy. And I really kind of like how the shape of the leaves mirrors the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I just feel like it creates a nice framing of the space. Up top at the back there, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hard to get into, but the variegated peace lily I've got is flowering. And I know I didn't buy this plant for its flowers. I don't really care for peace lily variegation all that much, but it's kind of exciting that it's doing that. It's the first flower that I've had in it at all, and so it's kind of a little bit exciting. I will probably cut it off though. I know that seems counterintuitive, but I don't need it. It's exciting that it's happening because it means it's a happy plant, but I don't really need it to flower, if that makes sense. On this shelf in here, oh my goodness, okay. So I've put my Synapsis mayari props into this little cloche here. I'm not going to take it off because I can't be bothered, but they're doing well in there. I've potted those up. Behind it though, my crystal mag anthurium has really done it with this leaf. It is a perfect leaf, and I was a little bit worried about it because I was worried that this one wouldn't be getting enough humidity in this zone. It's not a particularly humid place. I mean, my whole house is like 60%, so like it is still pretty humid, but I was worried that it wouldn't be getting enough, and that's not the case. It's doing really well. Very happy. A nice big leaf coming in there. Also a massive leaf on my variegated plummonii. Look at that. The variegation on it is insane. It's so cool and pretty. It's doing really, really well. I need to get this plant onto probably, I think I want to get it onto a moss pole. I know they're probably a crawler, but I think I just want to try and put it on a moss pole, because if it would thrive like that and grow even bigger, that would be freaking amazing, because like, I'm obsessed with this variegation. My other philodendron I've got here is my Genevivianum, I think it's called, and it's just put out another big leaf. Basically all the plants in this zone, I'm not surprised they're doing so well, but I feel like they're quite uncommon. And so I'm just like really pleased when they do well, because I'm not giving them anything like extra special. They're not in cabinet conditions. They're not getting anything extra like I would think they might want. They're just perfectly fine in here. And like, look at the ridges on this leaf. So stunning. And this is the one with the super fuzzy petiole back there. So cute. Super fun. Again, I should probably get this onto a moss pole sooner rather than later. Maybe one of the front opening ones. And then on the bottom shelf, this is where I've put the begonias, two of the begonias that I repotted in my last video. My Sinbad is here now because it wouldn't fit in the acrobar anymore, as well as my mixed pot of Don Miller and Maurice Amy. Just for now, I feel like this probably isn't the best place for them, but I wanted to make sure that they were staying under grow lights. I don't think they need any sort of special conditions, terrarium conditions at all, and so they're fine to be out in my normal home. I think they are just having a little bit of an adjust to the repot situation, because like it is a little bit of trauma to repot, especially when the Sinbad, when the roots were so big. I did some semi-accidental root pruning when I repotted it, but hopefully once the cuttings I took grow in, they can go in here and it can be a nice big happy plant. Above the bed, things are doing really well. I have turned the other grow light off as well, just so it's easier to see what is going on, but things are growing amazingly. It's kind of hidden behind the Pallidiflorum, but oh, it's got another new leaf. That's super exciting. My Wendlinguri just put out this like thick chunky leaf, which compared to all of the other leaves on that plant, which are around this big, absolutely insane. I don't quite understand how it just suddenly decided to put one out that's like maybe 3 times bigger and like double the width. I don't understand it, but I'm very happy about it, and I can only hope that the next new leaf, this one here, is also gonna grow just as big. I think the grow light is helping massively. I know for sure it's helping with my Thanksgiving cactus, because look at all of this new growth. This did not grow for like a literal year, my first year having it. I think it was just because it wasn't in the best of spots. But since popping it in this location with the grow light that bounces off the ceiling onto it, basically most of the day, it has pretty much from every single vine started popping off bits of new growth, which is super exciting. It really adorably comes in this little pink color, which is super cute. And then the rest of this up here is pretty chill. I probably need to give things a trim again, especially my cream splash here. It's trailing pretty low, and my Synapsis pot. I'm pretty sure this vine is Synapsis tricolor, because it definitely does have 3 colors in here, and I mean, it doesn't really give the traditional tricolor vibes though. So I kind of still want the tricolor. I think, is this one as well? No, that's the Silver Lady, I think. There's just so many in here. I don't know what half of them are half the time. I just like the way the mixed pot looks, and I'm not mad that I've done it. It's just a bit of fun, rare Synapsis-y goodness that I probably should chop and prop fairly soon. If we go down here, we have a little prawn. A little Cleo cinnamon bun. Hi, sweetie. Cleo. Yeah. Hi, sweetheart. You mind that I've woken you up? A little bit? Okay, well, you can go back to sleep now. Good night. Over on this side, something a little weird has happened. So, you know how my Synapsis exotica was shingling? It was shingling, and then it's decided it wants to stop shingling. I don't really understand why it has done that, but it has. It's no longer sticking itself to the wall and like flattening itself out. I don't really mind. It's not really a problem to me, but I do think it's a little bit weird that it's just suddenly decided to stop. Strange. Also, I've kind of made my Acker bar a little propagation cabinet. Oh my god, this lighting is awful. Okay, I've turned the grow light off and that is a little bit better. But I've basically made this a propagation cabinet. It's where I put all of my begonia water props, and they seem really happy like this. I've got a couple things in semi-hydro in here as well, and a couple things in soil, but those basically just stay here. They're fairly slow growing. My like super velvety peperomias, these ones are doing super well. They've pretty much nearly outgrown the cabinet. They got themselves a little bit burnt. Where was it? Oh, it's actually chilled out a little bit. Oh, there you can see it. Oh, am I just ripping this leaf off? Apparently. But they've got themselves a little bit burnt in there from touching the grow light, which isn't ideal, but it's fine. I'm not like, this isn't my most precious plant. I love how fuzzy these leaves are. They're probably some of the softest leaves in my entire collection. Oh, I guess I could also talk about my variegated Synapsis. One second. I've just pulled this one out because it's slightly easier to show. But this was that like half moon leaf that I thought was growing in ages ago. The variegation on these ones, the leaves come out pretty much solid green and they slowly fade into their variegation. This one's kind of like a reverse Brazil, which is fun. It's very, very variegated. And I don't think all of it will stay this like sort of full yellow. I was convinced that this whole leaf was going to be half moon, but turns out the variegation isn't entirely half moony, so that's totally fine. I have no problem with it. It's just a really cool Synapsis. One of the most uncommon Synapsis I have in my collection. Probably not going to put this in my rare Synapsis box, at least until it's a little bit bigger, or if I move that to a different place, because in the Acker bar, it gets a whole heck of a lot of light because the grow light is on most of the time. And it's not the brightest grow light in the world, but it does, I think, provide enough for what this Synapsis needs. I don't think I'm not planning on moving it out of here anytime soon. If I did, I'd probably move it into another cabinet just while it is kind of still getting on its feet. Coming into the living room, oh, you know what I'm most excited about is my biggest new leaf on my Philodendron Majestic. Like, look at the size of that thing, and it's definitely not hardened off yet, so I'm very excited for that to come in. It's doing really, really well and like properly sizing up, which is great, and it's not like close enough to the top of the pole that I need to worry quite yet. So I'm just excited for it to continue growing. I think this one is also benefiting now more since I've popped the light going upwards, so it'll bounce off the ceiling instead of being pointed right at it. I did have to remove a leaf from right in there that was like very, very burnt. So it's a bit of a shame that I let that happen, but now that it's bouncing, I feel like it's doing a little bit better. My begonias down in here are doing fantastically. My Thurstonii, look at the sort of shine on those leaves. They're so pretty. And then the Cochiana, I think it is, in the back. Very happy. Getting quite tall. I probably need to chop and prop and like pop them back into the bottom again sometime soon. Oh my god. Okay, this is the most exciting thing in this corner. My Alocasia Regal Shield finally put out a decent sized leaf. Like finally. All of the leaves I've ever had on this one were like this size or smaller. But then, boom. Literally, I don't understand how we got to this point. I don't understand why this leaf is so much bigger, but it is so, so beautiful. I'm so excited for it. I think it might be since I pot it into the no drainage vessel here. I think it's doing quite well in that. Like hella roots growing on in there. So maybe that is helping. It does have a bit of a sad leaf down here, which I should probably just take off at this point. But I don't care because like, oh my god, look how pretty it is. Also my Philodendron Melanonii, I know it's a bit dark in here, but it is setting up to flower again, which I don't necessarily want it to. Maybe I'll just chop it off. I've just kind of been leaving it and it's been fine. Oh my goodness. Also my Tycon, the root at the back there is hilarious. It is just like coming up and out and pushing its sort of like water cup to the side. I mean, I'm extremely proud of this plant and where it is now. The leaf on it is absolutely stunning. This is the biggest monstera leaf I have ever had in my entire collecting journey, which is kind of surprising because I feel like it's one of the most common houseplants, but like I've just not been able to get them to grow well. But we are in a great place now. I don't see any signs of new growth coming in yet, but it seems very happy in there and otherwise doing quite well. My Regal in the back hasn't really done anything in a little bit. I don't see any signs of new growth. I did have to remove one of the leaves down at the bottom, and I don't see any signs of like roots growing on in that like air layering stitch that I've done, but I am very much so enjoying having the indicator in the spot. It makes it so much easier to like know when to water this one. I'm also really pleased with the plants down here. My Peperomia sarcophylla, it is putting out a new leaf. It had another new leaf, but I accidentally knocked it off, which is entirely my fault. But this new leaf is coming out. I'm being very careful not to touch it. Hopefully Cleo doesn't like brush against it or something and knock that one off as well. It's been a hot minute since it's giving me anything new. Also, it like desperately needs a bit of a dust. Whoops, I'll do that later. But it's fine. I'm just glad that it's doing something because it's been a while and it's kind of gone a bit stagnant. My Begonia Hatakoa Silver is finally, like a year on, finally starting to feel like it is in a happy place again. I got this last year at the Malvern Spring Show, and it's one of my like coolest begonias. It's just so fun and funky, and it's doing so much better now. It's actually growing, actually putting out decent leaves, finally acclimated to the like semi-hydro situation. I've got it in there. I've got it in just some no drainage. Oh gosh, can you even see that? No drainage semi-hydro back there. My Stephania erecta hasn't done anything yet. It was looking like this before it even got planted up, so I don't know what's happening there. Unfortunately, my Syndapsis mint variegated, come on, focus. A lot of the leaves have started to like come off a bit. I don't know if that's gonna be a problem, but it's just what's happened. And my variegated Rhaphidophora is actually doing okay. It did lose some leaves, but I did pull it out to check on the roots the other day, and they do seem like they are starting to actually root. So we are doing good in there. It's just taking a hot minute. My Begonia baramensis has just put in this new leaf. I have it open at the minute because it was feeling very, very wet. You can see how moist the soil is in there. It is extremely moist. And so I wanted to give it a little bit of air, but this new leaf is coming in and it's bigger than the last one. So it's doing really well. Eventually, I'm sure this will outgrow its little container, but for now, it's just doing fine in there. And then we can go into the Mills bow. I'm not gonna do a ton of talking about stuff in here because I'm actually, I promise, one of the next videos I film is going to be my greenhouse tour. y'all voted and you basically said a messy greenhouse tour is fine. I can totally just like pull all the plants out, talk about each one of them as and when, and then like put just the ones that I want to go back in. So that will happen soon. I pinky promise you that it's happening. But a couple of quick updates. My Esmeraldense, I think this is, philodendron, it's gone well off the top of the pole. I need to probably give it a taller pole, but I feel like that's the thing with these, the first front opening moss poles I got from Plant Scraper. They are not very big, and so it's I feel like it's definitely time to give it something bigger. I don't have very much bigger. I'll have to like give it a good look, but it has definitely grown roots into the back of it, like very, very happily rooted in there. So that is good. I mean, it's not a particularly moist pole at the minute. These ones, I haven't been going in my cabinet nearly as much as I should, just because it's been so stressful for me. I've just been ignoring it, which I know is bad, but you know, here we are. In the back, I've got a couple of things that I've pulled from my pond box. My variegated Anthurium magnificum, I think this is, which has got a new leaf in the back there, which is exciting. And then some strappy Anthurium. I don't know what that one is. I think it could be a Wendlingeri, but I genuinely do not know. I guess we'll find out when it matures a little bit more. Down the bottom, this. I absolutely am loving my variegated Paeonia repens still, though it is the thirstiest being on the entire freaking planet. I swear I give this one water maybe twice a week, and it just drinks it straight up and just is so constantly thirsty. It doesn't droop anymore, so I'm really glad that I switched it to semi-hydro, because that's a much better situation for it. It doesn't get too dry, but I have to fill it up constantly, which is kind of annoying. And then I guess the other main thing is that my black velvet is just, I'm pretty sure it's just decided it wants to fully commit to death, which is a bit of a shame, because like the big piece I have of it, this is its only leaf, and this is what it's done, so that's kind of annoying. I do have a baby in it as well, and I have some corms that my friend gave me, so maybe I'll just put the baby in with these corms and get rid of this one. Again, that's a project for another day. I don't really have time to do it now. Oh my god, look at that leaf. Holy cow. This is the green unicorn. Let me pop it down so we can better look at this. Look how perfect that leaf is. My high red alocasia, this absolutely gorgeous thing. It's doing so well. It's just been growing pretty constantly for me since I've had it, and I'm absolutely obsessed. Look at the sheen on that. Oh yeah. Anyways, we can just close you back up. Oh gosh. Get in there. Close you back up, and we will get to this very, 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 very soon. I promise you. I already pinky promised you. I can double, triple pinky promise swear. And then in this corner, y'all might have seen that I found spider mites on my Gagiana the other, I feel like it was 3 weeks ago now. I have been treating it regularly, and I haven't seen any more spider mites since, which is great. I've been treating everything in this zone. That's why they have like a bit of a funkiness to them. But I think we are okay. I think we're at the point where we don't need to worry about it much anymore. It's starting to like grow really well again. I don't know how I'm gonna get to show you this because it's kind of tucked back in there. There's some new leaves in there, I promise. But also my bird of paradise is putting out 2 more new leaves there and there, which is super exciting. The last new leaf, oh my gosh, let me show you how freaking big it is. Do you see the size of that? It is absolutely freaking massive, and I love it so, so much. And I have a feeling the other 2 new leaves are going to be just as big and beautiful, which is awesome. My Portadora, which I was terrified would also get these spider mites because I know it's kind of a pest magnet, has been absolutely fine, and it is putting out another new leaf. So I think it's liking this sort of new spot that I've put it in the last couple of months. I feel like this is just a better place for it because it can get the sort of ambient light of the window, as well as it does get some full sun in here, which I don't think the Portadora minds that much. I mean, so far it's not burnt, which is good. I'll continue to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't, but it's just doing really well. Hopefully I can get it out of the sort of 2-leaf club soon. Okay, in the office, I'm very proud to say that all of the plants that I was getting rid of are gone at this point, so very, very happy about that. And my variegated monstera, I've just popped it here. This is still like a sort of temporary home for it. I still don't have a cash pot that fits it, but like that's okay. But so many of the growth points are starting to pop out new growth, which is exciting. So hopefully I am able to get this one to grow like really nice and bushy. This was the top cut, and as you can see, very, very, very white growth on that one. We knew that one was like extremely white though, so I'm not surprised by it. Hopefully I can get it to grow bushy. It might take some time, but that's fine. Ooh, also, my Ficus elastica taniki, my variegated rubber plant, it has started putting out some actually decent sized leaves lately. I mean, this is kind of the biggest it's gotten since I have propagated it like several years back. It's taken its sweet time, but I think now being underneath the Pianta grow bulb is really, really liking that. It's getting quite a lot of bright light all the time, and I think that really does help it quite a lot. Down in this zone, the only plant that's like being kind of really annoying is my Ruba juvenile. Oh gosh, what's it called? Oh my god, I've forgotten the common name. El Choco Red, that's it. Basically, I don't know what I need to do with this one, but it tried to put out another leaf and it just like sliced itself. Like the stem cut itself in there, so that's not gonna grow out. It'll probably just die off in here, so I'll have to like pick it out. This one is just constantly breaking itself. All of this damage is purely damage from it just like hurting itself when coming out, so I'm just really annoyed with it. I feel like I almost want to get rid of it at this point. I was hoping that like putting it onto a new moss pole would help. It absolutely has not, and it's just continued to be really, really annoying. Next to it, on the bottom shelf here, my dragon scale alocasia popping out amazing new growth. It's got 3 new leaves right now. So 1, 2, 3, which is exciting. This just keeps doing so well. I am so happy with it. I love this one so much. It is easily one of my favorites. I still want to do an alocasia ranking video at some point. I have quite a lot of alocasias, and I feel like this one will be fairly high up in those ranks. My begonia black forest is getting pretty big now as well. Like the sort of leaf size on it is decent, which I like. I have probably chopped it and popped it a couple of times, so it is getting a little bit fuller down there as well, but it just needs a little bit more. Oh my goodness, this has gone poorly. So the props that I put in on my varicosum, if you couldn't tell, they did not work. And it's not because it's dried out. There is still water in the bottom of this. I've tried to keep the pole decently moist, but this is just, it has not worked, unfortunately, which I am kind of really annoyed about. It just kind of makes me want to not keep the varicosum. I feel like the varicosum and the El Choco, they're just 2 philodendrons where I love the way they look. I think they're so beautiful. Like, look at the shine of the velvet in there. Absolutely stunning, but I struggle with them so much that it's just kind of not worth the pain, if that makes sense. Also, My Norfolk Island pine is getting some new growth in there. It's got a little new growth point. And also, all of these bits, this is all new since I've popped it in this place. It's loving being underneath the grow light. It is so happy in this spot. I'm so glad it's doing so well, because I was a little bit worried because I've never had a plant like this one before, but now I'm positive that I'll be able to use it as a Christmas tree for years to come. Up top, this little guy who's normally in my cloche, my variegated peperomia. I don't exactly remember what it's called. I'll put the name on the screen, but it is doing phenomenally, actually. Probably the best that I've ever been able to grow it, which is awesome, and it is still putting out some variegation. It's not incredibly variegated, but it's enough to be okay. Otherwise in here, this shelf is doing fine. Oh, and inside the cactus cabinet, I think things are pretty happy since I switched them over from the semi-hydro to soil. They don't seem to be having any sort of big trauma issues. Nothing seems to be getting mad at me, which I do like. Things seem fine. I have watered them just the once since repotting it. I'm still gonna have to get used to like when to water in this soil, just because I'm not as familiar with it. I think probably now that we're going into like summer months, probably more than once a month, maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. I think while I still have them in this zone, it'll have to be about that. And then I do have some plans for some, because I do want to take a lot of them out of the cabinet and maybe turn this into a tropical cabinet again. I got these shelves. I think they're shower shelves technically, but they're these like clear acrylic shelves that you can stick to any sort of flat, smooth surface. And I'm gonna pop these on the windows in the bedroom and put some cacti in there so they can get like as good of natural light that is like possible in my home. I've got 2 of those, but again, that is a project for down the line. So yeah, I think they're doing well. I hope they are. I just have to like cross my fingers and hope that they maybe feel a little bit better in natural light. I feel like they would definitely benefit from that a little bit. In the back over here, you can see the light green on my ZZ plant. That is new growth on it. I've got a couple new growth points coming in, which is very exciting. Very happy for this one. And everything else is just doing fine. My Macrophylla, not Macrophylla, Mitchelletiana, goodness. My Mitchelletiana it's very floppy, to be honest. And I don't think, maybe actually it does need some water. This one is a bit thirsty at the minute, so I do need to give it some hydration, but it just always is really floppy, and I think that is because the light is coming from the side of it. It's coming like the window's that way, and so all the leaves are trying to face towards the window. If it had light from above, it would probably be a little bit happier. In theory, I could put it in this corner, aside from the fact that I genuinely don't have space in this corner, but I think it would probably do better here, getting the light from the above. I have just turned the light off for filming, but things in here are growing really, really well. My Branchifolia is out of the 2-leaf club. We got to 3, which is very, very exciting. And my Alocasia Stingray, since I've moved it here, has been very happy in this spot, really liking it. And oh my goodness, I took some cuttings of the Begonia Arabian Sunset back there the other day. You cannot even tell. I could take 5 more and you would not even be able to tell. I really need to like give it a massive prune, I think, at this point. So yeah, that's it. That's everything going on in the collection at the minute. Like you saw, everything is just feeling really, really good. There's just a couple things here and there that aren't perfect, but for the most part, we are in a really, really good place, and I'm really, really happy with my collection at the minute. So yeah, Thank you so much for watching. Before I leave though, I want to say thank you to the newest member of my Good Growing Fam on Patreon, Brooke. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you love it. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, it is £3 a month, and for that you get all of the things, including bonus content, live chats, access to the Discord server. You can vote in polls on what sort of content you like to see on my channel, and like general houseplanty community. So that's there if you want it. You can think about it as running one of my grow lights for a month, or like buying me a cup of coffee. So yeah, that's there if you want it, but totally understand if that is not your thing. That is totally fine as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, or if I mentioned anything in this that you want to know more on, let me know and I can hopefully make that happen for you, and subscribe for more. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!